Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azer Mathani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondy.
That's me.
And the exquisite Tony O.
Morning, boys. Let's go.
How's everyone doing on this fantastic Monday morning?
You know, it's just getting a little bit easier to wake up at 5 a.m. nowadays, which is so unheard of.
This is not true. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Tony, can you call it waking up if you don't actually sleep?
Fair point. Yeah, fair point. This is 2 weeks in a row now where I am on 30 hours of no sleep or so. But good news is, yeah, Arsenal's performance on the weekend did a lot for my energy levels. No, they did not. So,
we won't talk about that just yet, Tony, but we will for sure.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to sleep, what also doesn't help is having your air conditioning broken on the hottest weekend of the year so far, which is what I've been dealing with. So, for anyone curious, a pool of your own sweat, not great to sleep in.
That would suck.
Yeah,
it's great. And
brutal.
I have to keep my window shut for the recordings as well because it's Toronto, so there's inevitably a police car going by at any point. So I'm doing great.
Yeah, that's the commitment we're required 442. So good on you, Izzy.
Yeah,
doing your bit.
You say good. I'm bitter about this.
Don't worry, we're all in the same situation. It's hot and humid for all of us, and yeah, this has been brutal, the heat. Especially you guys played soccer in this heat, yesterday, so that's even rougher.
I'm sorry, Tommy, you don't have AC? I have AC.
Yeah, but it sucks. It doesn't work very well.
No, then you're not in the same boat
yes,
as me.
That still counts, okay?
You're in a completely different boat.
I'm still in a pool of sweat. It's just not as large.
Once again,
AC,
not
what?
the same.
Oh, fuck's sake. Fuck off.
I'm here trying to be sympathetic to Uzi's suffering, and you're like, it's no big deal. We all have our problems.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. For what it's worth, Uzi, I feel your pain. I was there like a couple of years ago when I stupidly decided that I wasn't gonna have AC, and I remember Canada Day was like over 40 degrees or something. I was dying. So, yeah. I feel your pain. Don't worry. I know what it feels like.
I'm glad I can garner some sympathy from you two, you know? Oh, I say you two. From
Yeah,
Tony,
just
at
Tony.
least. Tommy, we will be having words after this is over.
Speak kindly, please.
Never. To you, never.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
So, boys, before we get into the weekend's football, when we hopped into the podcast last week, we're just so used to getting stuck right into the weekend's action that we forgot to actually talk about ourselves, which is, remiss on our part.
Right.
Tommy, of the three
Yes.
of us, you were the first person to really be there in Kingston, but it was actually Tony who was the first person to start playing noon hour soccer. And now I've called it soccer, so I can quit the podcast immediately. But Tony, why don't you tell us about how you started off with Nooners?
In your defense, it is NHS, noon hour soccer, so you're just staying on brand.
I'm still a little bit upset with myself.
Yeah. So yeah, I had been in Kingston for a year. I went to Kingston for university at Queen's University, and the summer after my first year, a friend and I just kind of showed up one day to play soccer at noon. And now I'm saying soccer. Great.
It's just the podcast falling apart.
That's it.
Yeah.
Second one's our last one.
To play football at noon, and yeah, we see this group of guys on the other side of the pitch. They're they're a mix between some older guys, some younger guys, male and female. And we're like, yeah, we can join in, get a game. So naturally, my friend and I were just passing to each other the entire time, just flying past people. And these couple of guys who I later came to know as Ahmed and Johan just kept kicking my ankles for some reason. Just non-stop saying, you can't slide here, everything's got to be below the waist, your knee can't touch the ground, pay attention to the rules. It's just like, who are these?
Tony, that's how you learn.
Oh my days. Who are these absolute dickheads who, by the way, are actually really good guys and good friends of mine now. But yeah, honestly, I wasn't sure I was gonna come back. The rules can be quite bizarre, but I had a conversation with Mike Smith, who we all affectionately call
the Don,
the big man.
I'm gonna stick with Kamish because yeah, but yeah, and I don't know, man. Like any of us who have spoken to Mike or anyone who's spoken to Mike know what I'm talking about when I say he just has this natural warmth that he gives out, makes you feel this welcoming vibe, and yeah, I just found myself a week later wanting to come back and feel more of that warmth, I guess, that environment that he fosters.
That lovely warmth
Yeah.
of people just hacking at your ankles.
Basically, yeah. You miss the bickering and all the shit talk, and you learn to respect the rules. The rules are there to kind of protect people. Like we said, it's a very diverse space. Some people have been playing there since the 70s, and they're much older now. So, yeah, I don't know. Nunes eventually became my home away from home. I'm from Nigeria, and yeah, football is my way of connecting with people, and this gave me a platform to do that, I guess. But yeah, a year later, having joined the competitive Nunes team, I see this I don't know, long-haired wonder who actually gave the ball back to me when I passed it to him. I'm like, oh, this guy might actually be a half-decent player. So
it's truly how friendships are made. Nothing bonds people like a 1-2 pass.
Yeah, a 1-2 pass and then another 1-2 pass. I'm like, huh, who is this guy? And
I think that's true love.
Yeah.
Might
Don't tell anyone
might
I
be
said
so.
this. But
Don't tell anyone you said this. This
yeah,
is
I was
getting
gonna
published.
say, Tommy is I found out later on that Tommy is my football soulmate. So yeah,
We should make a movie.
take the mic and speak about your.
Am I third wheeling here? Should I leave?
Did you not?
Me and Tony
know
having a
this?
moment here, sir. Please.
Am I just here to facilitate this?
Pretty much, yeah. All right, Tommy. Talk to us
Yeah,
about your time
Tony,
in
that was beautiful, Tony. Well said. Yeah, I don't think I have a real distinct memory like Tony has. I just remember showing up, and that's it. Like, I don't remember anything special happening my first time there. I don't even remember Tony there, to be honest. It may have just been a day where he wasn't, but I do remember Mike, the commish being there, and like no one has banter like Mike does, and that's what I remember the most. Is he was probably making fun of me for a bad shot or a bad pass or some sort of mistake that I did, and that's definitely something that rings in my memory. But yeah, I definitely meeting Tony there. I definitely remember those 1-2 passes. Like, that's in my memory for sure. And yeah, I had that same sort of thought, like, do I come back? These rules are so weird. The first time, no touching the ground, no sliding, and I just didn't know if this was my thing. But people were nice. That was the main thing out of it, and that's what gets you drawn back to keeping coming back, is just the great people and the great folks. And like you said, now Tony, it's your home away from home, and I definitely feel the same about it.
And then comes this, how do I call it? This wonder on the right
Use your
foot.
words. Use your words carefully here. I'm editing this, so
I'm always nice. Relax. Hold on. Let me get there. I'm gonna say this wonder on the right fullback spot because you never left the right fullback spot. In fairness, but just realized that whenever I give Uzi the ball, he usually was very. He took care of the ball. If he was playing a long pass, it was a long pass and not a long ball, which I absolutely hated. Very tactically astute. And towards the end of my time in Kingston, we actually started to play in more competitions together. So, yeah, is there?
I will
guess
say
my introduction was not as...
it wasn't as no one's gonna make a rom-com spin-off of that, but I'll take it. And I will say that you very clearly don't remember me from when I started playing Nooners, which was I believe right after my first year. A friend of mine told me that there was pickup football happening on Tyndall Field, so go in. And frankly, I was shit at the time. I became better at football by playing Nooners because I was consistently playing 4 or 5 times a week. But yeah, it was again a similar thing. I showed up, didn't know the rules, got yelled at beyond belief because I think we play that goals are below the waist, and I called a goal as being high. And I forget who it was, but they absolutely lost their rag with me.
It wasn't.
I bet it was.
It
no,
was
it was
not.
probably Max. It's probably Max. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Max. I'd know if Max was yelling at me. But yeah, and after having someone yell at me like that, I was like, I want more. Please. Give me more. No, I actually ran off and was just like, maybe I shouldn't come back. But like you said, Mike Smith just has such a magnetic personality, and there's so many good people that play Nooners that I just kept coming back. And here's the key thing. I hung around long enough so that the Boca Nooners competitive team started running out of players and had to pick me. Eventually, there was an opening at right back, and that's when I came in. It was all the long con. It was all about the long game.
Hey, you earned your spot. You scored your. You'll forever have that moment where you scored the.
Was it a backheel goal?
The backheel winner
to
in
win
the futsal
a
tournament.
title?
Yeah. I haven't been absolutely shattered the weekend or the day before. Yeah.
I'm just saying, booster juice and Tylenol are an excellent combination if you want to A, lose a lot of weight in a weekend, B, not throw up every time you eat solid food, and C, score back heels.
We were just
unrivaled combination. Booster juice, I am taking sponsorships.
Just want to let the listeners know that booster juice and Tylenol is not a euphemism for something else. It's actually booster juice and Tylenol. Yeah. Okay.
I was very ill that weekend.
Yeah, I remember.
Well,
But,
I can definitely vouch though, there. You said you started off absolutely terrible and crap, and it definitely progressed to a fine right back.
Thank you, Tommy.
I just remember from all those nice crosses that you delivered in when we played the men's league together, and I got my head on the end of quite a few. So, I thank you for that.
maybe I'd stop playing Nooners as regularly as this. I don't remember Uzer being absolutely crap. I
genuinely was the first few times I played, because I played fairly infrequently at the start, because I'd just come in for like a month or something after the school year before I went back home to Karachi, and it was not good. It was the fewer people that remember me playing those days, the better. It's like when I started playing regularly is when I actually started to play.
we should start a Nooner Academy.
Teach everyone how not to slide.
Exactly. Stand on your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in terms of starting the actual podcast together, is the three of us just kind of Well, we hit it off because we all support rival teams, and that leads to just endlessly ripping on each other. And
Yeah,
we would,
usually it's on my end because whenever we get together to watch a game, let's say it's a Chelsea game, Chelsea always lose, and it sucks.
That's
It's
right. I should have gone to Kingston.
it's no surprise
Yes,
that
yes,
Chelsea
exactly.
won the Champions
You
League
should have been in Kingston
after we
this
left
weekend,
Kingston.
Tony.
Yeah. Tommy's given us some great memories. Some great
Oh,
memories.
I mean, great memories
have-
for you.
So we have so many pictures of him just looking despondently into the distance that will eventually make its way to our social media.
I will never forget having to witness Lampard score against us.
I was just
ever in
gonna
my
bring
life.
that up. One of my favorite moments. Everyone just turns and looks at Tommy.
I was crying.
Sad
I
Tommy,
shed tears
yeah.
that day.
All right. Since we're talking about Chelsea already, boys, do we want to? And you know what? We haven't had Tony this happy on the podcast, so do we want to bring him back down to
we need
earth?
to.
Having a great
Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2. Tony, I guess, just like last time, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on the game?
Okay. Yeah, I was having a great time and you just absolutely killed me. But yeah.
It's because you don't love me as much as you love Tony. This is my revenge.
Okay. I'll be honest. I wasn't expecting us to win. I wasn't expecting us to play well. Team sheet comes out, no Ben White, and you're thinking, okay, he's out sick. Look, at the time of recording, it hasn't been said that Ben White has COVID, so probably shouldn't speculate on someone's health, but the team has had this COVID wave just break right through them, and it's really going to be interesting to see how teams deal with this new world where, I don't know, it's one player is hanging out with another player and suddenly a whole bunch of players have this ailment that decimates their squad. But let's talk about the players, or let's talk about the game. I honestly, when I watch Chelsea, it's strange because you can see how they can be got at. But Tommy and I were having a debate about whether this was a system issue with Arsenal or a player issue. Because Reece James just kept finding space down the right wing after a while. But I don't know. I think whatever we did on the day, we'd have lost. I don't think we have the players to keep Chelsea at bay. I think you're asking for luck, if I'm being honest. I don't think Saka had a great game. I think the plan was probably to play via 3 or 5 at the back and then spring. Mikel Arteta is actually a very interesting case study in what happens when a manager has too much time. When he first came in, he played this 4-2-3-1 system. Wasn't really working, but it was getting the best out of Mesut Ozil. Then COVID hits, everything shuts down. Ozil comes back unusable. So he changes to this system that is still very structured, but it allows for the team to spring. And it wasn't always pretty. It struggled to break down deep blocks. But what it allowed is, it had a system with Kieran Tierney. He was springing from left center back. Ainsley Maitland-Niles was springing from left wing back into midfield. Tierney was springing into left wing back. Aubameyang was springing into center forward from the left wing. Pepe was springing into the right half space. And I've said this so many times, we have a transition team. And Arteta knows this clearly because he devised a system to get the best out of our players. We were hoping, as Arsenal fans, it was going to progress into a more attacking philosophy by maybe playing a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 and incorporating a press. Instead, he's gone back to this possession system, and we don't have the players. We just don't have the players to do it. Odegaard's going to come in, it's going to get better, but we don't have the players. Between Mari and Holding, they have 0 caps. And they're playing against one of the best strikers in Europe. They're playing against Lukaku, Kai Havertz. It doesn't make sense. And I don't know, I'm going on this rant. There's so many thoughts in my head. I don't know how cohesive they are, but honestly, Arsenal, you just don't know where to get the hope from with this team. I know we had players out, but I really don't feel like it would have been much better if we had everyone available. But I don't know. You guys watch the game. You have a different perspective.
I will say this about Pablo Mari. He is as handsome as he is bad at defending, which is very in both cases.
Should have been a model.
That first goal, Lukaku just brushed him aside like he wasn't even there.
My God, he threw that man.
It was like
Just
watching.
absolutely
It's like
launched
watching
him.
Mustafi. I don't know what he's doing. Don't get tight to Lukaku. Take the space away. Everyone knows this. The guy is huge. You're not going to body him off the ball. It's such an avoidable goal. And the worst part is, up until that moment, Chelsea were not threatening. They weren't threatening.
I was gonna say, Arsenal looked decent at the start. They were like, I know Saka's end product was not good in this game, but they were doing a good job of getting the ball to him with space. They did a good job of getting the ball to Pepe with a bit of space to run into, and he was beating his man when he could take him on. Yeah. And then it just, completely fell apart. Tommy, I know you're itching to talk about this one. Yeah, please, lay it on him. Give us that Chelsea fan perspective, baby.
Those first 14 minutes gave you hope, I bet, right? Oh, Arsenal are up for this game. I was like, should I be worried?
I never had hope.
No, but no.
How dare you assume that Tony has any hope? That's been systematically beaten out of him at this point.
No, I think Tony made a fair point there, because I was saying, Reece James had so much acres of space on the right side, and I was like, why don't Arsenal change their shape? Why don't they go five at the back, or just maybe have someone stuck out wide there, drop Saka back a bit more? But kind of Tony makes a good point. They're going to lose regardless. So why not lose kind of going all out, guns a-blazing, and being more attack-minded? So I respect that, to be honest. I would have done differently. If I was Arteta, I would have just sat back and kind of maybe played more counter, just because you knew that you weren't going to win the other way regardless. So I would have adjusted. I couldn't believe how much space Reece James was getting. He had a great game. I'm super happy. Usually he kind of plays a bit slower. I think Tuchel was saying in an interview where he doesn't like to, James doesn't really beat his man as much, but today he was really going after it, which is great to see. And
I'm just gonna say, you can't beat a man if there's no man within 20 meters of you.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a bit easier.
He's a new Kyle Walker, really. When you look at his playing style and how well he does getting forward,
right? It
reminds me so much of Kyle Walker. Yeah.
Yeah, James is fast. James, I didn't think he was that fast, but he is quite a fast guy. Yeah. And it's whenever you have a new signing, you always have people say they need a transition period, get used to it. It's so nice to have Lukaku come in and just be exactly what you expect him to be. Bully defenders, shield the ball. When his back's to goal, he can pass on the ball. He's not going to lose it. And then he runs. He gives and goes. And then that first goal was textbook of what I expect Lukaku to be doing throughout the whole season. And you know what? If it wasn't for Leno, he could have had a second one. That save in the second half that Leno did, that was incredible.
Brilliant save.
Yeah,
Brilliant
Lukaku was so unlucky not to at least have one more. He was up for that game.
He couldn't believe. Did you see the look on his face?
I know.
He's the ball didn't go in after.
Yeah, it's like, did the ref? He asked the ref, did he touch it with his hands? Like, he couldn't believe it. I couldn't.
Chelsea had a corner, and he was watching the replay on the big screen. It was nuts. Yeah,
it was a proper every Indian TV drama reaction shot. It was beautiful, beautiful.
I will say, you talk about should Arsenal change their system and go a bit more defensive. Granit Xhaka was basically playing left center back, by the way. Kieran Tierney was pushing up on his side, high up, and we left Lokonga, poor guy, on his own in midfield. It's nuts. I just don't understand what this coach is doing anymore. Like,
I do agree though that Saka was quite poor. Definitely.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks exhausted already. Yeah, ideally he wouldn't be playing right now, but we don't really have that many options thanks to, well, due to the COVID outbreak. But listen, we'll lose next week again, and then hopefully the season can start then. So,
Yeah. Is it Man City next weekend, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's a rough
3-0.
start. Oh my gosh.
3-0. They'll go 3 goals up in the first 30 minutes, and then Mikel Arteta and Guardiola will shake hands, and City will keep possession for the remaining 60 minutes. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah, just I guess a couple more points on the game. It looked like, I mean, I could be wrong about this. I probably am, but it looked like in the first half, in the first little bit, like was Smith Rowe kind of man marking Jorginho for a bit, where they're trying to just get him off the ball. It seemed like it. He wasn't really getting the ball a lot. It looked like Kovacic was doing most of the like building it from the back. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. It's just kind of how it played out at the start.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think Smith Rowe typically does take on the deep line playmaker in the team, but Jorginho is the one who usually makes you tick, right? So, yeah, but I mean, Kovacic is just as
that's the thing. He's just as capable of doing those passing. And then it's even worse for you guys. It's 70th minute. We'll take Kovacic off, and who do you put on? Conte. Conte even looks sad. He's like, "I'm sorry, Arsenal, but I got to play." Yeah, I'm looking at Chelsea's bench now, like the second 11, and we would have beat our second 11 would have beat Arsenal easily today too.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's just the depth, and honestly, the depth in this squad right now is amazing.
I can hear Tommy's like shit-eating grin.
I can't hold it back.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Why have we started this podcast when Chelsea have become good again?
I think that's people want to know.
Should have done this.
People want to know
why
we started the podcast. We all have our own reasons, but I think the main reason why I agreed to is because I knew Chelsea was on the up, and I wouldn't have too many bad weekends.
Are you listening to this guy? The main reason why I agreed to it, like he's doing us some kind of okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Tony.
No, but listen, you guys will
Tommy,
have tougher days.
Tommy, this edit will not be kind to you.
Lukaku won't always play against a zero-cap Pablo Mari, zero-cap Rob
I understand,
Holding,
definitely.
okay? They are third and fourth choice center backs.
I mean, we're playing Liverpool next, so we'll find out how Lukaku does against Van Dijk.
He's not scoring. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, I probably agree with you, but doesn't mean Chelsea won't play well.
I am going to amend my list about who's going to win the league, just purely out of spite.
Just out of hatred.
Yep.
I guess.
Should we move on? Have we spoken enough about?
I think we've spoken enough about this fixture. Yes.
Yeah. Speaking about league winner predictions, I guess we should talk about Man United 1, Southampton 1. Well, I'm frustrated. I'm very annoyed. And I should have seen that this would happen because I predicted that Southampton would get relegated in last week's podcast. And
that's what you get.
I tempted fate. I should have looked at the fixture list before doing that and made sure it wasn't a team that we were playing within the next couple of weeks. And that's on me. So I can only apologize to all the boys in the locker room. And yeah, honestly, Nemanja Matic, I think, is still trying to turn. Good fucking God. There are semi-trucks that can perform like a 3-point turn quicker than Nemanja Matic. The man, he was a very good footballer in his prime, but his legs are gone. That was, oh God. That game just highlighted why United need a a defensive mid who's a bit quick, who can actually pass. I'm looking at you, Fred. Just had one of those games where he was just misplacing 5-yard balls. Just had the own goal, which was extremely
That was very unlucky. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just that ball's going miles wide. As someone who's blocking a shot, you always stick a foot out on that, and it just ricocheted the opposite way.
Oh, I did have a question about that one though. Did the ref made the right call not calling a foul on Bruno there?
I think it was the wrong call.
You think it was the wrong call?
I think that was a foul because he's sided him down from behind. But the refs are they've been clearly instructed to let a lot more go, but I don't see in what world that's not a free kick.
See, the way I saw it was Bruno was just looking for the foul, and it wasn't directly from behind. It was kind of sideways.
He was playing for the foul for sure, but he also did get side down from behind. But I will also admit that I'm coming into this with an absolute boatload of bias. But it's one of those where last season that is 100% getting given as a foul, but the refs are they've been instructed to let a lot more go, but it's still a bit inconsistent with what they do and don't let go, which is confusing. Was very happy to see Mason Greenwood get back on the score sheet. He's off to an excellent start to the season.
Him and Pogba.
Yeah.
Pogba, you must be happy with Pogba. He's been probably United's best player.
Pogba and Bruno in the build-up to that goal were telepathic. It was so good. Really, really fun to watch. But honestly, just a frustrating game. It was a game where we needed someone like Cavani up top.
What do you make of... he didn't really get much playing time, but Sancho was out there. He didn't really do much this game, but I don't think he got much service, to be honest.
By the time Sancho had come on, we'd completely lost our heads in midfield. We'd completely lost the plot there. There was so many sloppy giveaways, and I was very happy that I was watching this game alone and not with other people.
Is Van de Beek the only midfielder that Solskjaer assigned?
I believe so. In terms of central midfielders, yes.
Because obviously he signed Bruno Fernandes, but you could argue Van de Beek is another.
Van de Beek. Van de Beek's the only proper central mid, I believe, that he's signed.
It's weird because you've spent. It just seems like central midfield is not a priority for you guys. Because I find it incredible that we're still talking about Matic. United still have a Matic and Fred problem. But Fred's at least he can run.
Yeah, he's mobile. He'll put pressure on people. So I'm not upset by Fred starting the game, and I believe Matic only started because McTominay had a calf issue and could only play 30 minutes. But when Matic is the next guy up, you have a problem.
Yeah, I don't know that. That's why you just look at United and they're almost there. They're always almost there. But you just look at that midfield.
This is what United season is going to be. There's going to be weeks where we absolutely tear someone to shreds, where everything clicks, and there's going to be weeks like this one where just the midfield pairing doesn't work and is incredibly frustrating. And I'm going to have to talk about it on a Monday morning.
Hey, you did at least equal, Arsenal's away unbeaten record, I believe it was, by earning the draw.
Yeah, they did tie that, which is, scant consolation when you draw with a relegation candidate. And for the one Southampton fan that's going to listen to this, you are a relegation candidate. Don't forget that.
Oh, my days. It's funny how many fans have told me, how many United fans or just fans of other clubs have been trying to give me extra shit by letting me know about this record. I didn't even know this record existed. I know we have the 49-game unbeaten run, but consecutive unbeaten games away from home. Who cares? I'm sorry. Go ahead, break it. Whatever.
You don't care because it's not going to be your record anymore.
Exactly.
Watch United lose to Wolves next week.
They will 100%. It's a game against Wolves. It's going to finish 1-0 to them. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Adama Traore is going to rip you guys to shreds.
Adama Traore will not score. Did you see him this past weekend? He missed quite a few sitters. At least one that I remember for sure. He was 1-on-1 the keeper. Beauty ball sent in. And
okay, he's gonna tear Luke Shaw apart and then cross for Jimenez.
Yeah, maybe he'll cross. Yeah, but he won't score.
I will not stand for Luke Shaw slander.
There'll be plenty more.
No, we're not having that on this podcast.
Just get ready for it. There'll be plenty more on this podcast. I am not a Luke Shaw disciple.
You don't have to be, but you don't slander him.
He's no Kieran Tierney. Tell you that much.
I would hope not. I saw how much space Reece James was getting.
That was a Xhaka problem. Okay.
That's your central midfielder's problem, huh? The right back is your central midfielder's problem, huh?
Okay, what's Saka's problem? Leave Kieran Tierney out of this. He was doing his job.
No, you bring Luke Shaw into this. I will bring Kieran Tierney into this.
Okay, let's just move on before this podcast
before everything falls apart.
Kovacic is space ahead of Reece James here. James Lukaku! True Blue inside 15 minutes of his second debut.
Do we want to do a quick rundown of the remaining results from the Premier League weekend? Have a quick chat about them if there was anything interesting that went on in those games?
Yeah. Did you guys see Danny Ings' goal?
Oh, bicycle.
It's goal of the season. Might already be this. It's gonna be up there.
Yeah, goal of the season so far for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be up there. It's whenever they put up their 10 finalists for goal of the season, that's in there. That was beautiful.
So clean, so clean. Yeah, Villa.
Where do we think?
Sorry,
where do we think Villa's gonna finish this season? Are we reckon they're top 6 side?
Of course not.
No,
I don't think top 6. I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to get about as high as 8th or something like that.
Yeah,
they definitely have the potential now that they've because I like the signings they've made. Buendia is a very good player. Danny Ings is a phenomenal forward. And it was surprising to see them lose last week to Watford, but this game against Newcastle was the Villa that kind of people expected going into this season. And it's, it can take a couple of games for new signings and stuff to start clicking together. And bless them, Newcastle are very willing opponents to enable that.
Man, I want to change my relegation sides after seeing Newcastle. I hate to say it, but I feel like Newcastle might get relegated this season.
Whoa. Hang on. Did you watch the game? Because if I'm not mistaken, Newcastle were really close to...
They almost pulled one back because they had a penalty that got called back.
I don't know what Martinez was doing. I think that's a red card,
Oh, the foul on, was it Wilson?
It was on Wilson.
Yeah, that was
really
a terrible challenge.
Goalkeepers get away with a lot. Any outfield player, if he does that, he's getting sent off. And then I don't know.
Wait, they called it back because he was offside.
He was offside.
Yeah.
Newcastle had their moments. It's just Wilson had a one-on-one.
He fluffed that one out. Oh
yeah, side foots it wide, and Callum Wilson's usually decent in those situations. I think Newcastle will be fine. Genuinely,
I hope so.
Yeah,
I generally hope so.
I think they'll survive.
Yeah, I think they have enough to
It'll be a typical Steve Bruce season. They'll finish about 15, 16, maybe around that area.
Yeah,
and the cycle will continue.
I watched Liverpool Burnley. It was interesting to see how relentless, the difference Van Dijk makes to that team. They play so much higher up the pitch with Van Dijk comfortably, and I don't know.
It enables Alexander-Arnold and usually Robertson, in this case Tsimikas, to just push that much higher up. And I thought Burnley actually gave a good account of themselves, but it's just when you're under that much pressure, against a team with the attacking talent and ability of Liverpool, you're going to crack eventually. And that's kind of what happened. Like, Burnley were okay. They did as well as could be expected, but I don't know. Liverpool it's just too good for them.
I think Ashley Barnes had 2 goals chalked up to offside.
Was it 2 goals chalked off? They weren't chalked off, surely. They might have had chance. They made a couple of chances.
They definitely had one because he celebrated in front of the cop because they'd been giving him stick all game. He definitely had one that was chalked up to offside. I think 2.
Hey, I don't think he had a second one chalked off it, if that's the case. But they had their chances and they had their moments. But it was with Liverpool. It's just always you felt like they could take it up a gear whenever they wanted to in attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea Liverpool next weekend. That should be good.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for that. Van Dijk versus Lukaku.
Yeah.
See how that Chelsea defense holds up against Liverpool's forward line.
Yeah, I may have undersold Liverpool's sort of title chances this season after seeing them play. They were fantastic.
Hold on. We're all together for that game, eh?
Are we?
Okay, so we should put this down as a Liverpool win.
There we go.
I can't. I gotta find an excuse to not watch this one.
Oh, Tommy, we are watching this game with you.
Yeah, we're all coming to Kingston this weekend.
This will not go well. Nope.
Yeah, it's funny because
we'll make room on the couch between the two of us for you.
The only person who has similar luck when we're all together is also Ahmed, friend of the pod.
Oh, this is true.
Learner, so yeah, this is gonna be great. Yeah, 12:30. I'm looking at it. 12:30. So it's late enough that we should all be there.
Wait, it's at 12:30 on Sunday? It's not the 11:30 kickoff?
It's on Saturday.
Oh, it's on Saturday. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait.
So,
Right.
Okay.
So moving on to the next game, we have Leeds United 2, Everton 2. I don't know if either of you guys watched this. I did. Loads of fun. It's like every Leeds United game since they've been promoted. It's just loads of fun. Rafinha scored an absolute peach
Yeah, it was a great goal.
It's just end-to-end stuff. Everton have been a lot more fun to watch than I thought they'd be in the first couple of games under Rafa. Goals going both ways. Just, do you think he's going to start winning over the fans with this more sort of attack-minded approach?
nope.
Okay.
Hey, I think you're right, is there? Everton have looked fun to watch. I reckon they'll, I don't think they have that much depth in their squad. I might be wrong, but if they stay relatively fit, I reckon they'll do well this season. I like Rafa. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of our fans absolutely hated him when he was here, but I think he's a great manager. And I think he'll do a good job with Everton. And like you said, always tune in for a Leeds game because they are always entertaining. There's going to be goals galore in any Leeds game.
I really want Bielsa. A great manager. But, yeah. No, I think Everton had a similar start last season. My Calvert-Lewin, he was everyone's fantasy pick last season, right? Scoring goals early on. He just feel with them, they usually run out of gas 10 games in. So it'll be interesting to see if they have enough firepower to keep the squad fresh.
Yeah. I don't think enough was made last season of how disappointing Everton were under Ancelotti.
Yeah. I think because we're kind of used to that with Everton, right?
Yeah, but Carlo got a bit of a pass because he's such a lovely man.
Yeah.
It's a lovely, expressive eyebrows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moving on from that, we had probably the most predictable result of the weekend with Man City absolutely taking out all their frustrations on Norwich City. 5-0. Not much to say here except City, I think, are well and truly warmed up for that Arsenal game next week.
I will ignore the bid. I think the most interesting aspect of this was Raheem Sterling was dropped, right, for this game in favor of
yeah, I believe so.
in favor of Jack Grealish. I mentioned last week that I think they have a Grealish Sterling problem. They both like playing in the same spaces, and it's going to be interesting to see how they figure that out as the season goes on. Does Sterling start to play more in that false nine role? I thought Gabriel Jesus was fantastic in this game. I don't think he ended up scoring, but he got a couple of assists. He just kept finding space down that left-hand side. Whoever the left back was, I can't remember who it was now. He had a torrid time. But, yeah. Sterling comes on and scores a very similar goal to the one that Grealish scored. I don't know. I still think Jack Grealish was a strange signing for City to go all out for. So, it's going to be interesting to see how he solves that problem in the next few weeks and months. But, hey, City, brilliant as always. Norwich predictably rolled over.
And without KDB, right? KDB didn't play?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did, yeah. So, I mean, if there's ever a game for City to just put KDB on the shelf for, Norwich City is probably the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Norwich, not off to the best start to their survival bid. 2 games in. I mean, I know they've played Liverpool and City, which is just an unnecessarily mean way to start off a season for a newly promoted team, but 8 goals conceded, no goals scored, I believe, and it could be a long season for them.
You don't see how it gets better with that squad. I don't know. No. They signed they have this Chelsea loanee, right?
Gilmore.
Oh, Gilmore.
Yeah, Billy Gilmore, yeah. They're not a team that needs to be experimenting on. I don't know.
I mean, Gilmore is fantastic, but I mean, he's not going to.
Gilmore's fantastic, but
goals.
Norwich aren't going to have the ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. They need more, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. I don't think so, but yeah.
So we also have Spurs moving level with the top of the table Liverpool with a 1-0 win against Wolves in the Nuno Santo derby. Harry Kane is back. He's in that weird Galaxy trippy Tottenham away kit, which is the less said about that, the better. But yeah, it's a solid win for Spurs, and they look well. They did get bailed out by Hugo Lloris on a couple of occasions in that game, like Tommy mentioned earlier, the Adama Traore chance. But you know, they had chances they had their own chances as well. I believe Son had a good chance that was saved. Bergwijn had a good chance that was saved. Kane had one when he came on that was saved. Do you see the Spurs squad going anywhere this season? Do you think they're going to improve on what was a very disappointing last season?
I just want to point out that you said top of the table Liverpool and did not decide to say top of the table Chelsea. Was there a reason? Was there a reason for this?
It's because I forgot that Chelsea had 2 wins out of 2.
Okay, fair enough. Just wanted to...
Despite us talking at length about Chelsea's second win.
We are trying to forget, Tommy.
Yeah, I realize. I mean, Spurs. You know what really impressed me from that game was Bergwijn. Man, he's a fantastic dribbler. He's fast. He created a few chances. Maybe Spurs will surprise us this season and play really good football. If they keep Kane, then I like their chances of definitely finishing top 6 for sure. They still have the same issues defensively. Look, the amount of chances that they conceded in that game. If Wolves had any finisher in that team, they miss a boatload of chances.
I mean, they do have Raul Jimenez back.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure once he hits his stride, he gets a few games in, he'll probably start banging them in again. He's not quite there. And like you said with Adama Traore, that you can't rely on him for finishing at all. Creating, yes.
Oh God, no.
I read somewhere he had like 8 take-ons this game. It's crazy. He was
absolutely dusting Region, I believe.
The only person who can stop Adama Traore is Adama Traore. Weird. But
And to be fair to him, he does a fantastic job of that.
yeah.
Always has himself in his own pocket.
Yeah. It was great to see Raul Jimenez back on the pitch right away. He had a really nasty, really nasty head injury, clashing with David Luiz last season. But yeah, listen, Tottenham, I think they'll finish in the top 6 if they keep Kane, and they won't finish in the top 6 if they don't. I think it's as simple as that. I don't know that they have a squad to do much more, but they have some good players. Son Heung-min, Bergwijn, Lucas Moura. They have good depth as well. But I don't know. Like, pains me to talk about Tottenham. I try not to watch them, if I'm being honest. I try not to watch any one of Arsenal's rivals who are doing better these days. But
Tony, that means you're just not watching any football this weekend.
I mean, I have to do some research for the podcast. But yeah,
It's there's no Tony doesn't take any pleasure in watching football anymore.
after watching Arsenal, I'd rather just lock myself up in a room and bang my head against the wall for the rest of the weekend. But hey, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. With Tottenham, you just never know. They're a bit like Everton in that they promise a lot and then they tend to disappoint, thankfully. So we'll see where they go from here. They've had a good start. A win against City and Wolves. Those are two tricky fixtures that they've navigated quite well. So.
And to round things off in terms of results, we have Brighton picking up their second win of the season. I should have said top of the table Brighton as opposed to Liverpool or Chelsea, because who cares about those teams? We talk about them enough. Brighton are top of the table after a good 2-0 win against Watford.
I mean, they're not, but okay.
Well, look, they're tied. I'm not looking at goal difference. Doesn't matter this early in the season.
Hey, they scored 4 goals. That's pretty good. Wasn't that their problem last season? They weren't scoring?
The expected goals gods have finally smiled on them. Neil Maupay has finally turned into a striker, which, you know, he'll inevitably stop scoring after 5 weeks, but they should invest in a striker. But they're one of those teams I can see them finishing comfortably mid-table. Graham Potter's done an excellent job of just coaching this team and building a squad that can create boatload of chances. And especially in Bissouma, he has an absolutely wonderful central midfielder to help drive the team.
How is he still there? I don't get it. Listen, I love Brighton. I really love the way they play. Graham Potter is a manager I've been watching for a few years, and yeah, I watched this game. I try to watch Brighton whenever they're on, and Bissouma was fantastic throughout, winning every challenge that he competed in. The way he pressed on that second goal, I mean, it was sloppy from Watford, but he reminds me of Conte in a way, in that you think you have some space, and then he just eats up that space in milliseconds. Bissouma, great player.
Maybe Arsenal bought the wrong Brighton player.
Hey, we were linked with Bissouma at the start of the window.
That would have been a signing.
Yeah,
that would have been such a good signing.
I don't understand it, but maybe there are concerns with him going away for the African Cup of Nations. We have a couple of African midfielders already. I don't know, but I find it incredible that he's still there. Man United could use him, for sure.
I would absolutely love him.
Arsenal could use him. I mean, even Tottenham. There's so many teams. He'll get a move soon, because he's not a secret anymore. Everyone knows about him. But just in general, it shows you what a manager can do with. You look at that Brighton squad. I mean, they play in a way that you wouldn't think their players can play. The way they keep the ball, constantly recycle it, create tons of chances, and thankfully, as you both said, at least for now, they're putting those chances away, which is great. And I hope they have a great season. They're the only team that constantly defy XG. Let's hope XG is a bit kinder to them this season.
So with all that being said, there is still one game left in this match day 2, and that is West Ham versus Leicester City that is being played today on Monday. Boys, what are you looking for in this game? What do you expect to see?
I think we kind of glossed over a huge game, Crystal Palace versus Brentford.
Oh, honestly, 0-0 draw. Game was so forgettable that I genuinely forgot about it. But you know what? Good for Brentford. Point away from home as a newly promoted team.
Yeah.
You take that.
That's a good start for them, right? 4 points?
Yeah, fantastic start.
All right. That's all that needs to be said.
Pretty much it. Nothing else happened there. My Ivan Toney pickup in Fantasy Premier League is looking not ideal so far, but I believe in him.
I just had to look at the West Ham squad to see what they've done. I mean, they picked up Ben Rama. I don't think he was there last season.
No, he was there.
He was. So have they not bought any outfield players? Oh yeah, he was there. That's right.
I don't think that they have. Meanwhile, Leicester have brought in Vestergaard, Patson Daka, and Ryan Bertrand, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I don't know if West Ham have been lulled into this false sense of security thanks to this season they had last year, but I'm expecting Leicester to win this game. I'm also expecting them to win comfortably. West Ham don't have the Jesse Lingard effect anymore.
If they stumped up the 25 million asking price, they would.
25 million for Jesse Lingard. Wow. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. You look at Leicester, they've made a few intelligent buys, as you said. Patson Daka, he's a great rotation option for when Jamie Vardy's inevitably tired later on in the season. And yeah, I think between Kelechi Iheanacho and Yuri Tillemans, yeah, I'm expecting a comfortable maybe 2 or 3-0 win against West Ham, even though they're away from home. But West Ham will inevitably go ahead and win now because I've absolutely jinxed them. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Tommy?
I think you're selling West Ham a bit short. They were solid. I think the first game they got the 3 points. Antonio was fantastic. He's fit. As long as he stays fit, I think they always have a great attacking threat. Leicester last couple of seasons, they probably should have made top 4 and they kind of choked it. I think both times. Second half season has been poor. I don't know what to expect from Leicester this year. I don't know if for me, they don't look like a top 4 team. Vardy is getting, 34 now. Can you rely on Vardy for all your goals now? Iheanacho, I know he had a great
Look, as long as there's Red Bull available, you can rely on Vardy.
Oh yeah.
And I know they have Madison. He was injured for a good part of last season, and he seems to be fit now, which is great. Their midfield is strong. I'm a little bit worried about their attack, just in terms of, Vardy. Can you rely on Vardy and Nacho for a top 4 sort of battle? I'm not sure.
I will point out you are sleeping on Patson Daka.
Yeah,
he
probably
is a really good striker. Came from Salzburg where he scored tons of goals. I saw him in preseason. He looks like an absolute monster up front. It's going to be a nightmare for teams to play against. I don't know. I think with West Ham, I wonder if not having any signings will kind of drain some of the enthusiasm for the home crowd. Like they're a pretty expectant crowd over there at they're at the Olympic Stadium, right?
They do.
Right now, yeah. I could be wrong. West Ham had their best season away from the fans. They're one of the few clubs that seem to thrive without their fans kind of letting them know how they felt. And maybe that I'm doing a disservice to the West Ham crowd, but I can't see West Ham I don't see where the goals are going to come from with this team. You're looking at Michail Antonio, and that's pretty much it for their goal threat.
Thomas Souček offers a good goal threat from midfield.
From set pieces, sure. He's
good at bursting into the box as well, and I think with players like Kufal.
I think it's Soufal, yeah.
Soufal, yeah. Soufal and Benrahma, they do have the ability to put like some good crosses in, which Antonio and Souček both thrive on. So I'm not as down on West Ham as you are, Tony, but I do think Leicester will win this game. But I think it'll be a bit closer than you think. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Leicester. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll toss a prediction out there. Patson Daka off the bench to score the winner.
I do like Jared Bowen, but yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I'm sticking with my 2-0 prediction for Leicester. And Tommy has West Ham winning. Is that right?
You know what? I'm going to give you my prediction here. I don't think West Ham will win, but I don't think Leicester wins. So I'm going to say...
leaves one option.
1-1 draw.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to say 1-1 draw here. I don't know. I'm not going to name goal scorers. I'm not going to go that far. But
coward.
Yeah,
coward.
1-1.
Unwilling to put your neck on the line. Well, gentlemen, I think that's everything we had to cover for the day. Thank you to everyone who was listening. Please give us a follow on Twitter at 44Took. I believe this podcast will be available on Anchor, YouTube, Spotify, and I believe also Apple Podcasts. Is that right, Tony?
Well, working on it in the background.
Possibly available on Apple Podcasts. TBD.
I need them to verify the account. What can I say? But
Apple, please get on it. I know you're listening. I have an iPhone. You're listening to me. Please verify us.
Okay. Yeah.
All that's left to say is thank you for joining me, Tommy.
Always a pleasure, is there, Antonio?
And thank you for joining me, Tony.
This is fun. Always feel better after talking to you guys, in spite of the constant pain you try to bring. So, looking forward to seeing you both next week.
And thank you for listening to us. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.